My name is Lauren. I am studying about allegory. Allegory is the meaning behind the story, poem, or artwork. A commonly known story that shows allegory is The Boy Who Cried Wolf. The allegory in that is Don't Lie. The most famous book that has allegory in it is the Bible. The book I read while I was studying about allegory is The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe by C.S. Lewis. Now I am reading a story that I think that has allegory in it. I hope you like it. It starts off with 6 kids in the park playing Capture the Flag. The name of the story is The 6 Saviors of Omada. There are 3 girls, Lauren, Jordan, and Hilga. And there are 3 boys, Peter, Louis, and Henry. It was a beautiful day in the park, a perfect day for Capture the Flag. It was boys versus girls, as 6 children began to play. The boys had the flag and the girls needed to get it. The girls were planning their stratagem. "I have got it," said Hilga. "I will sneak up and grab the flag and run away before the boys can catch me." "I have 3 good reasons why we should not follow your plan," said Lauren. "Number 1, you don't know where the flag is. Number 2, the boys are way faster than you. And number 3, none of us are involved." "When we capture the flag," said Jordan, "we should hide it in a second base. They will never find it." "As long as it's not my plan," said Hilga, "I will not do it." The boys were having trouble too. "I say that we should hang the flag in a tree," said Peter. "While the girls are trying to get it, we could tag them and then we'd win." "Are you kidding?" said Louis. "They beat us 7 times in a row in the tree climbing Olympics. They are sneaky and silent. They will be gone with the flag before you could say grasshopper." "Oh, I suppose you have a better idea. After all, you are Mr. Brainiac," said Henry. "Tell us, Professor, what would you do?" "I would at least have somebody in the tree with the flag," said Louis. "That way when the girls come, they can't get it. And thank you for acknowledging that I am smart." While the boys were busy arguing, Jordan took the flag and ran. Hilga saw Jordan with the flag. She tried to get it from her. They tumbled to the forest floor and rolled around, fighting. Lauren saw them fighting and tried to stop them, but ended up falling over too. The boys heard the girls fighting and realized that they had taken the flag. Soon all 6 children were fighting. The fighting children came out of the woods, and then, by accident, the flag was thrown into Leech Pond. The name does not lie. Nobody could stand the thought of going in to get it, so they all went home. That night, each child had a strange dream. What was strange about it was each child had the same dream. They were flying through clouds, past stars, rain, and wind. It was really mysterious. Then they stopped. A loud, mighty voice spoke. "You have distressed me. You shall be imprisoned in eternal youth until the day you complete the task that you will receive. Only then shall you be free." Then there was a bright light, and the next thing the children knew, they were nosediving into a huge river.
Lights.
The river was at least 12 meters deep. "Swim for shore!" shouted Lauren. Soon the wet children lay gasping for breath on the shore. "What are we doing here?" said Henry. "I should be at home, not here." "I don't know where we are, let alone how we got here," said Louis. "But it's night, so I believe that one of us is dreaming." "Of course," said Jordan. "One at a time we will pinch ourselves to find out whose dream this is." One at a time each child pinched themselves, but nothing happened. "Are you getting the feeling that this is not a dream?" said Peter. "Because I am." "This is a dream," said Helga. "The person who is dreaming does not want to wake up. I know who it is. It's Jordan." "Me?" said Jordan. "Why me?" "It's not Jordan," said Henry. "It's Louis. He said it was a dream. No, not Louis. It's Helga. No, it's Lauren. No, it's Peter. Not me. Him. Not me. It's Henry. Not Henry. Louis. The fight went on. Each child was quick to accuse another of dreaming. Just then the 6 children heard an unfamiliar voice. "Who goes there?" shouted the voice. This voice was firm, yet sweet. "I repeat, who goes there?" "The 6 children who are lost," said Jordan. "If you please, could you tell us where we are?" The children were on the bank of the river. All around them were short, shrubby trees. They barely had any leaves. The trees were spread out. The ground was hard and gray. It was cloudy. The sun had barely come up. In front of them, of the children, was a 12-foot cliff. On top of the cliff was a woman on a brown and white horse. Behind her were 3 other horses. Her skin was pale as a swan. Her dark hair was in a ponytail and almost touched the saddle. The woman was wearing a black coat that went down below her knees. She was wearing all black. When she saw the children, her face softened. "You're an Omada," she said. The woman. "Tell me, are you molluscans?" "No," said Lauren. "We're children." "What is a molluscan?" "It is a person who lives in Molus. Molus is our neighboring country. Since you are not from Molus, I think I can trust you." "My name is Philia," said Philia. "Which way is Vermont?" said Louis. "I have never heard of Vermont," said Philia. "Maybe my father knows. Come around the cliff. You may ride on my horses. I will take you to the main city. That is where I live." The children did as they were told. The horses were big enough to hold 2 children each. One command from Philia, and they were off. They went so fast Louis almost threw up. They went through woods and over streams. In about 5 minutes they slowed down. Up ahead was a strange sight. There were six mountains in a circle. A huge wall connected each one. "In those mountains is the main city," said Philia. "The king put the main city there so it would be safe from attack." Between 2 of the mountains was a gate. As they rode towards it, the gate opened. They rode into the street. The city was about the size of New York City. The buildings and houses were like 18th century houses and buildings. The buildings were colorful as they went towards the castle. Beside the castle was a pasture full of grass and flowers. There was a little pond. The trees were full of fruit. They let the horses out into the pasture. Philia and the children went into the castle. They went straight for the throne room. When they got there, Philia shouted, "Father, I'm home!" At that moment, the children realized that Philia was the king's daughter. "I found the lost horses," said Philia. "They are in the pasture with Gregoro, my horse." "I also found these kids." "Good," said the king. "Throw them in the dungeon." The children gasped. "Ha ha ha," said the king. "You should have seen the look on your faces." "Don't worry, children. I was just joking. Come, tell me, where are you from? Why are you wet? And what are you wearing?" "We are wearing pajamas," said Helga, "our sleeping clothing." We are wet because we fell into a river," said Lauren. "We live in Vermont," said Louis, "but we don't know how we got here." The king looked at the children. He beckoned for the children to follow him. He took them inside a dark room. It only had a dirty window. The rest of the room was filled with tablets, scrolls, and books. He went into the darkest corner of the room and pulled out a stone tablet. He dusted it off and read it out loud. "When darkness falls upon your land, leave it to me to lend you a hand. I shall send thee 6 young saviors from the land of Vermont to do your favors. When the task is done, as a team, the finder must set them free." The king smiled and said, "Our time of darkness has come. Now we have been sent 6 saviors." The children looked around. They wanted to see the saviors. They realized they were the only ones in the room besides the king. "Us?" said Peter. "We don't even know how we got here, or why we are here, or we need to get home." The name of the story is The 6 Saviors of Omada.